Were coming up short last night, shooting in the 20s percentage-wise. And here, after the first quarter, shooting 60% from the field. What a difference a night makes, and change of venues.
And a change of mindset, Steve. They only had 5 assists for the entire game last night. They've had 4 in the first quarter. And to me, that just typifies the aggressiveness they've been having towards the basket. Just like that, they've explored being able to find their shooter out in the three-point line, but it wouldn't have happened had they not been able to penetrate and get to the basket.
Aaron Grabeau knocks down a 3. Kerry Williams found him. Kerry Williams tried to provide some energy for him last night. No matter what they tried to do, just couldn't get it done. Ron Dorsey, long off the back of the iron.
Little zone defense from the Cairns Taipans there. Dorsey 0 for 2. He'll want to have a big one against his old team. Coming back into this venue, obviously left them in the off-season after contributing in a major way. We see Grabeau get to the basket. Really needed to go up on this side of the basket. He would have had an easy one.
Sure did.
This is going for the extra point for difficulty.
Yeah, that's a good cut, but that's not a scorer's mentality right there.
No. I think sometimes people will cut for the sake of cutting. When you watch the great players that were really good at cutting, and I was far from a great cutter, but you look at someone like Andrew Gaze that was just so good, made a living of it. He would cut and make sure he got the ball in a position where he could just go straight up on that side of the basket.
Yeah, he'd be preparing himself for the score even before he got it. Great at it. Burst and runs into a wall of defense provided by Aaron Grabeau. Williams pulls it out. Brebner up top. Cross one. Wilson in rhythm. That's off the mark. Williams runs it down.
When you come on the road, you just can't give up offensive rebounds like that. Good defense from Benny Lewis. Of course it was. It's a good call by Ray Hunt. Benny Lewis came off the split line, got his feet set, bang, offensive foul.
Very good defense by Benny Lewis. They get the stop. And Cairns have scored the last couple of baskets, but the Melbourne Tigers, that's where you start. Get a couple of stops. 31-15 here in the second.
Hello.
Hello again.
Look, I've got this ad here which says I can get a 3-month breather on my home loan.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering, what's the, fine print?
Oh, it's just there. After 1 year, you can defer up to 3 months of payments for any worthwhile purpose.
You can read backwards. Clever. Very, very clever.
Put your head down, okay? Hit a back, waxy, get it straight into the trigger on the post. Work off him, okay? Work off him and cut hard. Come on now, guys. Go, man.
Melbourne Tigers, I can hear in the frustration in the voice of Trevor Gleeson, just can't seem to get anything going.
No, they can't, and they haven't had an opportunity to really go inside against Tregar. For Tregar to be able to get him going. He's only 1 for 3. Really not enough shot attempts for somebody leading the competition, but really no one's getting it going apart from Bria, who made his first 2 baskets of the evening.
I haven't seen a whole lot of dribble penetration from Allen either. Dorsey with a tough follow-in. Wilson gets the long rebound. Wilson turns the Jets on. Dorsey takes the charge, no call. Brebner with a smaller Allen on his back. Just clears him out. Scores the 2.
It's like a big truck. Just kept backing back over him. Powered it up. Really, somebody had to come and help him, though. Realised that obviously he wasn't going to be able to play defence on him, Myron Allen. As we see an offensive foul inside from Lucas Walker.
Cairns trying to build on this 33-15 lead. Go the same way. Brad Hill back into the game for Cairns. Crosswise skips it out to Brepner for three. It's off the mark, Ian Crosswise. He grabbed that rebound, no one was on him. Wilson created some space for himself, turned down the jumper. Crosswise comes up short. Dillon with an impressive rebound.
An athlete, really, isn't he? He had no right to get that board.
Tragar with a running hook, and once again he makes those difficult shots look easy.
You made a good point before, Steve, that Myron Allen really hasn't had any space to be able to do what he does best. Hasn't had the opportunity to use the pick and roll like we saw early on in the season before he'd actually got a chance to learn their sets. Maybe he needs a few more of those opportunities to be able to experiment, get into the paint and open it up for the shooters and also the pick and roll.
Yeah, they look really good when, with his dribble penetration, he's aware of where everybody is on the floor when he is penetrating the lane. Yeah, just haven't seen it. Every time we watch the Tigers, we see that.
And he's quick.
Hold the screen.
It's really been a non-factor here in the early stages of the game. Wilson for three. That's good.
That's great play by Wilson, but I was watching Myron Allen. He had no fight in him in getting over or under that screen at all. Didn't put his hand up. Didn't even really contest it. Body language from him so far is not good.
Liam Rush hesitates off the D. Allen just jumped in the air and came back down. Looked awkward. That'll count as Cam Tragar once again with the footwork. Crowd wanted to travel. We'll have a look at the footwork.
Let's go, fellas.
That's all right.
With his leg, eh?
Yeah.
I think that's a good move.
He's so good at that, using that leg to step through and around. He's one of those guys that when you're sliding with him and he picks up the ball and you think you're done, and then he keeps pivoting and making moves and getting around you.
Yeah, he's just got a nose of being able to score. He just needs enough touches and enough possessions. But again, the Melbourne Tigers have only had 18 shots, first 26 against the Cairns Taipans, and Cairns have done a good job of really being able to slow down any sort of transition from the Melbourne Tigers. That's the game that they try and play and have been successful at.
Melbourne wants some up-tempo. And here comes Cairns again. This time is Andrew Warren going left in rhythm, drains the three. The lead is 19.
I'd love to see his percentages off a move versus just catching and shooting. Seems like, as we said last night, when he stops and thinks about it, his feet is set. He normally shoots it short. He doesn't shoot a high percentage. When he comes off like that on a down pick or an on ball, he's automatic.
He sure is.
Or at the end of a shot clock.
His shot looks different, too. As Hill races on the floor, likes that left hand, can't get the roll. Boy, he is a nightmare to stay in front of in transition with that size and his ability to get to the rim.
Just a great take. And now what you want to look for, the last two shots that he missed from the free throw line, have a look at his body language after he shoots it. Does he lean forward? Does he sort of bounce around like he did the last time? Or does he stand straight and hold his follow through like a confident shooter does? See that little bounce at the end and he's leaning forward?
Yeah.
You can't make free throws consistently with that.
No. He needs to just have a look at his action, video it, have a look at his action, and make sure it's the same every time. Get it to the shooting pocket, same every time.
Yeah, and he's the only one that can solve it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to believe that you can make that shot. If you've got demons going on in there, it's a very, very difficult battle as we see Myron Allen stroke it like he's Ray Allen.
After we said that's probably not his game, he just stroked another beautiful three. I said the same thing about Idris De Leon, and he ran off about 4 of them, remember?
Well, the thing is that he's only taken 4 threes in his first 3 games. So it's not necessarily his game that he wants to be able to get it done. We see him get one on the break now. Little 5-point run and a good timeout by the Cairns Taipans to put an end to it.
Myron Allen thinking that was an and one. Like you said, a little 5-point run, timeout. Cairns don't want this thing to get out of hand. As anyone that's ever watched a basketball game it's all about momentum swing. And right now, the Melbourne Tigers are on one. There's the brains trust for the Cairns Taipans coming in and listening.
Guys, if they run any horns, we're just going to go underneath. All right? Now, if Allen stops and tries to pop, then like I said, that's where you big guys have got to be kind of on that side underneath, so you just can't carry your hand on it. Do you understand what I'm saying on that? If he goes off one side and they go underneath, the other guy's got to be sitting there in case a guy slips or whatever. All right? I want to run a reverse kickback here. Reverse kickback. All right? Here we go. Go, boys. Top fans.
Blair and Fern after a timeout. Melbourne Tigers on a 5-0 run. Lead's been trimmed down to 14 after that 5-0 run, of course. Let's see if they come up with it. Having a little trouble breaking that pressure. Well, one thing that the Gold Coast exposed of the Cairns Taipans is taking the ball out of Jamar Wilson's hands at the beginning of the shot clock and at the end of it. And Townsville, when I spoke to Aaron Fern, he thought that they did a good job of that. It wasn't as obvious as it was against the Gold Coast Blaze, though.
Now, they got bullied against the Gold Coast, and they've got some good players to be able to do that, the Blaze, particularly with Gibbo and Mark Worthington.
Tapped in by Jeff Dowdle after a miss by Jamar Wilson.
Again, another offensive rebound that will break the heart of Trevor Gleeson. You just can't go on the road, get stops, and allow the offense to be able to come in and put it back in like that.
Allen, offensive rebound. Allen wants a foul.
See, now he seems like he's got a little bit more pace, and he want to be very careful as he creates that space himself, get to the basket. A little bit to say to the referee. Never a good sign when the referee puts his whistle between his lips and then looks the way he just looked then. You generally know what's coming next.
Allen again at the three-point line. Did everything but go in. Shot it at the end of the shot clock. He had no choice. Wilson, some handy ball work. Hill, lucky to get away with being called for a charge. Wilson, a couple of hesitation moves to Dusty Reichardt. Maybe not the shot they wanted at the end of the shot clock. Well, you think Ayinde Ubaka's got a lot of hitches and hesitations in his game. So does Jamar Wilson.
He made me dizzy. I wasn't defending him.
I don't know how the defender didn't get up on their toes with a couple of those hesitation fakes. Dillon brings it up. Gets it to to Dorsey. Bow up and in as he normally is. Allen finds Trigard. Trigard with an easy look.
Good little pick and roll by their two leading scorers. Again, very tough to be able to defend when you've got those two in the mix. Ron Dorsey, still a donut for him, 0 from 3. Hasn't really contributed in any way so far.
Double foul, Daniel Dillon and Andrew Warren.
First foul's white 12, and we're looking at one orange 24. Orange ball.
Look forward to seeing that again.
Yeah.
He's a little nugget. Daniel Dillon. Dog going after a bone. He's just all over Andrew Warren. That's his job, to be able to get after the shooters. He's got the strength and the quickness to be able to lock and trail like that and try and push the shooter out of being able to get a good angle.
And you can see him going to the baseline now, and now the action's going to happen. Man, I don't know if that warrants a double foul.
Daniel Dillon didn't do anything wrong.
No.
Double foul.
He did his job. Andrew Warren grabbed him around the head.
It's a double foul, you keep what you have.
Dusty Rykard has his shot blocked by Cam Trigard.
So when you're down 15 points, you get one that should have gone the other way, and then you get a little cheeky like that. It makes it very difficult to be able to get back.
Get another look at it. It's on the baseline. It occurs. Dillon gets off balance. Maybe grabs him a little, but
yeah, I mean,
there's some contact.
You know, that sort of contact from a defender, you get 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
Coming down the court. Not often you get someone with the right to be able to grab them around the head and just throw them one way and get a double foul for it.
Allen gets it to Tommy Greer on the handoff. Dorsey to Greer. A little bit of a bump. Can't get the roll. Tommy Greer shot that one, but it was kind of like he didn't commit himself to it. He knocked a couple of shots down. He hit you on a cut. Just bumped off balance a little bit, but that's a little bank shot you can make, whether you're on balance or not.
You would have to say, though, in the NBL at the moment, there's certainly not as many players with a scoring mentality. And I guess that would, you know, replicate the fact that there's only the leading scorer has 17 points per game. You don't have people that can really string points together quick and have that confidence to be able to go and put big numbers up on the board.
Yeah, but you do know what I'm talking about, right? I mean,
100%.
whether he's knocked off balance or not, it's a 6-foot bank shot.
And that is exactly my point.
Yeah.
Is I'm saying that I feel like, you know, there's a lot of players with that mentality, not really cutting the score, and being able to find ways to be able to put points on the board quickly. Like if you make your first 4 points in the first minute, I mean, your eyes light up. You know it's your night. Now you know you're looking for 40.
Allen getting to the rim. Can't get the finish. Greer, all you got to do is get it to a teammate, and he does. To Burston. That was really not a whole lot that started that.
No, it looked to me like Greer and Trevor Gleason's got to be careful coming off the bench, even though he's not doing anything wrong, but he's not allowed to come off the bench. It looked to me like Greer just went to step over Grabeau. Grabeau's feet then got caught up and really caused the contact.
Unsportsmanlike, two in possession.
Oh, we need a wide shot of that.
Your feet get tangled up there when they come down. You can see that. Grabeau hits the deck.
And also Green said, no, you're the third man in, mate. You don't need to get involved with it. No, I didn't.
Well, they're saying...
Hang on,
Matt Burston was the third man in, so he's been called for that. But have they called it on Grabo? Because Grabo was the one who caused the trip on Greer.
Aaron!
Well, I always think basketball players are the worst fighters.
Right, I asked Ray if anything saw anything. He didn't see anything.
That was a
Matty
weak
was the third man in. Pushed him, no need for
Well, that's karma. He missed that. He didn't deserve those free throws.
Yeah, well, he makes the second one because it was a half-hearted effort to get himself to the line anyway.
Keep it under control.
Wilson loses it on the spin. Won't get many of those back.
Now, as a veteran, you've got to understand, whenever there's a little melee or a little push and shove, even if it's not a tough sport, Steve, of fighters, as you say, you know the referees the next time are going to call a soft foul.
Yeah,
Now,
the crowd's going to react on it, too, and you're on the road.
and you're up and in. Now, smart play by Wilson, because, again, when you're at home and you've got the ball, you want any contact because you know the referee's going to be able to get you a cheap foul there, and that's just a mindset. But you have to be smarter when you're playing the game.
Russell gets 2 freebies, knocks him down. And inching towards that 20-point lead again. Tigers just drawing a blank on their offense. Just wonder how they're going to get their next score. Allen goes baseline. No call. Liam Rush for 3. Short. Crowd reacting off the bodies hitting the floor.
I thought the first no call on Wilson was probably a good one, even though he read it. I thought there was a whole lot more contact on that second one, though.
Yeah. Whoever took that second one didn't really have to sell it. Dowdle goes down.
Dowdle read it well. It looked like he got his body in there, took it right on the sternum.
Crowd doing their job of just riding those close calls and trying to get it in the favor of the home team. Allen again outside the three-point line. That one didn't look close.
Shot that like his scouting report says.
Wilson draws 2 as he normally does on an on-ball screen. Dowdle standing on the three-point line.
Good play by Wilson, did the right thing, rolled Dusty right out to the middle. The help had to come from the wing, and he found the open man in Dowdle.
Greer, 2 of 10 for the Tigers at the three-point line. Liam Rush with a runner.
Hey, back, Williams. Hey, come over.
Now that one looked like he had a scorer's mentality. Wilson breaks the pressure, no problem. 18-point lead for the Taipans. Dowdle puts it on the floor. Had no rhythm on that. When you talk about doing your job of getting the guy off the three-point line, that's evidence of it working.
No, the shot clock, the game clock.
Allen. Tigers just not in this one mentally. There was